Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives.
From Hollywood to the great unknown and vice versa, these people helped bring science fiction to the big and small screens. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 iconic figures in sci-fi.
Put aside logic. Do what feels right.
For this list, we're highlighting the most influential individuals of film and television in science fiction. While many authors have offered significant contributions to the genre, they're featured on their own list. So be sure to check out our video of the top 10 iconic figures in sci-fi literature too.
You need to get out immediately.
Number 10. Paul Verhoeven.
You're dreaming. Doug? Is it about Mars?
A few years before directing skin flicks like Basic Instinct
It's nice.
and Showgirls, this Dutch director inspired a generation of sci-fi fanatics with classics like RoboCop and Total Recall.
Welcome to Mars, man.
By utilizing collegiate degrees in both mathematics and physics, Verhoeven explored the human element and technology's impact on society.
You.
With an ability to produce inventive nude scenes while maintaining steady action, he offers something for casual movie fans. But his films always boast a strong intellectual element for curious fans of the genre.
I just had a terrible thought. What if this is a dream?
Number 9. Fritz Lang. This German-Austrian director innovated sci-fi way back when and didn't hold back. In 1927, Fritz Lang premiered the feature-length epic Metropolis, the most expensive film of its time. With a dystopian setting, the iconic film opened up the minds of viewers and proved that an ambitious imagination could translate to the big screen with no boundaries. By the end of the 20s, Lang directed Woman in the Moon, a space travel film that further challenged the minds of moviegoers. Lang inspired generations of artists, and the sci-fi genre owes plenty to the master of darkness. Number 8. The Wachowskis.
I know it. He's the one.
These sci-fi siblings arrived on the scene in 1996 with Bound. But it was their 1999 film, The Matrix, that transformed the genre forever. With a visual flair that influenced later films like Inception, the Wachowskis also write their own screenplays and have an incredible sense of cinematic cool. The Wachowskis' progressive style attracted the millennial generation while building off of their sci-fi predecessors. Although recent productions left many shaking their heads, the Wachowskis' creativity still keeps fans anxious for more.
If I really die, just as well. My yawning is done.
Number 7. David Cronenberg.
A fly.
His films are an open invitation to have your mind blown. Now in his 5th decade of directing films, David Cronenberg never ceases to amaze with his body horror style and psychological explorations of the human mind. While his 70s and 80s films earned him a cult following, thanks to mind-bending and frightening subject matter, Cronenberg always returns with a fresh outlook and innovative ways to challenge a viewer's perspective of reality. One should not expect obvious answers to emerge during one of his productions, but a grin will extend from ear to ear once you realize that you've been Cronenberged.
Are we still in a game?
Number 6. Stanley Kubrick. In a time when various genres of film were blossoming all over the world, this man created arguably the most influential film of all time with 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm sorry, Dave, I don't have enough information.
By obsessing and thoroughly researching his projects, Kubrick perfected the smallest details to ensure a proper cinematic journey for viewers. He learned the craft of photography as a young freelancer for Look magazine, and his increasing individuality and creativity led to game-changing films like A Clockwork Orange,
I see now what I've never seen before.
and The Shining.
Here's Johnny.
Works that stunned viewers but demanded several viewings. Number 5. Ridley Scott.
Shall we continue?
Can you say back-to-back? This enduring director freaked out the world in 1979 with Alien.
Get out of the way, Lance.
And followed it up a few years later with one of the definitive sci-fi films of all time.
I need you, Dex. This is a bad one. The worst yet. I need the old Blade Runner.
With a mind built for cinema, Ridley Scott has proven his versatility over the years. However, it's his sci-fi productions that effectively transport viewers to another world.
It's too bright in here.
He pushes every single button with a knack for drama, suspense, and exquisite pacing. And as they say, it's all in the technique.
I say that we abandon the ship. We get the shuttle and just get the hell out of here.
Ridley Scott is a master of piecing together unforgettable imagery. Number 4. James Cameron.
Come with me if you want to live.
Hailing from north of the American border, this distinguished director makes him big and makes him good.
God damn it, that's not all.
Although few remember his 1981 feature debut, Piranha 2: The Spawning. We are all familiar with his films that completely innovated the genre through high-budget technology and relatable protagonists. Cameron beautifully highlights the human element and surrounds his characters with fully developed and unforgettable environments, which ultimately makes all the difference.
Get away from her, you bitch!
His female characters kick butt, and his technology destroys box offices.
Hasta la vista, baby.
James Cameron is simply money in the bank. Number 3. Steven Spielberg. Whether it's an early production of the American New Wave or a recent box office smash, Steven Spielberg often focuses on the regular Joes of the world, who find themselves in extraordinary circumstances. His eye for unforgettable imagery forever changed American cinema, and his productions often become pop culture experiences not to be missed.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
A Spielberg movie is truly an event, and he always introduces something new. Number 2. George Lucas.
Hello there.
Perhaps you are familiar with the Star Wars franchise? Well, this man is the mastermind behind it all.
Han Solo. I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon.
Without George Lucas, there would be no Chewbacca, no Darth Vader. There wouldn't even be a Willow Ufgood, for crying out loud.
I nominate Willow Ufgood.
It's his imagination and knack for adventure that draw viewers in, and he established a standard of excellence to keep the genre moving forward.
I am ready. Ben, I can be a Jedi. Ben, tell him I'm ready.
Ready, are you?
He's also the subject of sci-fi shrines across the galaxy, which is pretty cool.
Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
George Lucas is the quintessential dream maker of cinema. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Дело не в этом. Умереть может каждый из нас. Но он завещал похоронить себя на Земле. А разве космос плохая могила для него?
It would be my honor, Commander.
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
Stop him, Turner.
He's close enough. Turn off your electrode gun. No! No!
Don't you get it yet, Tars? They're not beings. They're us.
Number 1. Gene Roddenberry.
Mr. Spock here. We're intercepting a follow-up message, sir. There are crash survivors on Tellus.
Given his extraordinary life experiences, Gene Roddenberry had the background for a creation that would change the way of life for millions of future Trekkies.
My name is Christopher Pike, commander of the Space Vehicle Enterprise from a stellar group at the other end of this galaxy.
Despite the initial cancellation of Star Trek the TV series after 3 seasons, a cult following ensured more Roddenberry creations, which reached the masses through endless media.
Mr. Scott, do you have enough power for transporters?
It all starts on the page, and Roddenberry's literary talents paved the way for a franchise known by all.
Live long and prosper.
He transcended sci-fi, and with the ultimate send-off into another world, Roddenberry's ashes were taken to space upon his death. How's that for a sci-fi resume?
Live long and prosper.
Do you agree with our list?
Negative.
Who's your favorite iconic figure in sci-fi? For more mind-blowing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
And remember, my friend, future events such as these will affect you in the future.